I'd like to show you the kind of setup I've got for camping or overlanding, whatever you like to do. This setup is very simple. It's very budget friendly for my family and how we do things. Let me show you what we got. With a couple of sheets of plywood, I built this platform here. I've got 3 sheets of this that go back so that I can take them out. And then one long piece here that slides in underneath. I'll get more into how that was built out later, but this works real well. But gear goes in here. I'll put a mattress topper, a little foam topper or something on top of here, and my kids will sleep up here. One thing I wanted to point out in how I'm packing for a camping trip are these crates that work excellent. Instacrate and Clever Made work really good in conjunction with the setup I've got. The Instacrate that's a little bit bigger, stacking 2 of these on top was a little bit too tall to fit under here, so I found another one that was a little bit smaller. I'll keep kitchen gear in one of these. Kitchen gear, cookware, things like that in here. And other things, usually food items, that sort of thing that we'll use up, we'll use in a crate like this, and then throughout the camping trip, break it down. We got a little bit more room in there for who knows what we pick up along the way perhaps. But this works really good for all different kind of things you can pack in the back of a vehicle for camping or however you want to do things. Another thing I want to point out is I got a ladder rack to put my rooftop tent on and really to be my rack system on my truck. The reason I went with a ladder rack is, one, it was more budget friendly. I went to a few fab shops to get some quotes on getting just a frame to outline the camper shell of my truck here because I just wanted it to hold my rooftop tent. The quotes were a couple $100 more than this modular roof rack I got off of carid.com. But I'm really happy that I did. I got a lot more room to work with. The utility of it is much better. Simple things like this hook system can be an anchor point for hammocks, clotheslines, hang towels on here to dry, hang gear on here if you don't want to put it on the ground if it happens to be wet. It works really well for that. I was able to mount my recovery boards on it as well. It came with that, and that's great. Another thing I did, and I did a separate video on building this as well, was just a roof rack platform, just a platform. I didn't need a basket, and this works real well. If I need to tie anything off or anchor to the side, I've got the ladder rack that already provides this for me. But I wanted to have a rack here because I had however much roof space that I could use for storage. And the reason I did a custom build out on is because it was kind of an odd size with the roof rack coming out this far over the cab, and this works out real well. So let me show you some more about the rooftop tent. So the rooftop tent that I went with was a hard shell version, popped straight up. I happened to find this one used, got a good deal on it. It's not branded. Apparently the story on this was the guy that I bought it from got it from a guy who purchased however many of these directly from the manufacturer, I think from India or something, before they got bought up by companies and they did their own branding and did everything, and bought it from him. So I got a good deal on it. I like the hard shell version. It's just as heavy as the taller canvas ones that flip over. It's a little bit better aerodynamics. Yes, it still affects my gas mileage, but not quite as much. And I feel like this hard shell style will last a little longer than the covers that you put on the other styles. So this works out well. It's a nice big one there, 84 by 54. Fits my wife and I fine, and a child if needed. And it's real comfortable, but this is the style I decided to use. One thing I was able to do on my roof rack was mount my recovery boards on here, and it works great. I just drilled a hole where the recovery boards have, come with holes in that you can mount however you do it. Just drilled a hole here and one down there. You see some tape residue here. When I take these off, I'll put some black duct tape over this so I don't get any moisture, water, whatever in there. So it just left a little residue. But I just got some carriage bolts and I was trying to think, I think they're about 4 inches long or something like that. And I was able to get a knob, screws right on, screws right off, this type. So when I put these on, just put the bolt through here, get it through the hole, tighten this down, and it tightens down really tight and it holds. It's really good. if you're worried about security, you can drill a smaller hole through these and put a lock right here. I've seen several guys do that, and that's a good way to go. But this mount works great. It looks good too. I like where it is. It's up and out of the way, and I can still get to it easily. Just hop on my tailgate, jump up and grab them, and they come off easily. So that's something that works great. I wanted to show you my build out for the platform that I have for the back of my truck. What I did is I used 2 pieces of plywood. I've got 3 separate pieces on top so I can take it all out. I use my truck for much more than just camping, so having a system that I can break down and take out works really well. So let me show you how I do this. 3 pieces on top and 1 long piece on the bottom to help stabilize it, since this is the sleeping area. Pull out the middle piece first. Sometimes it likes to get caught. My first piece can be a little tricky sometimes. I just have to get it on top of the middle piece just enough so I can turn it a bit and take it out. So let's do that. All right, not too bad. Put that to the side. Now my second 2 pieces, I cut the corner off on opposite corners so I was able to turn the piece and get it out. Because of the slope of the camper shell, I couldn't just pick it up and pull it out. So giving myself the ability to turn it made all the difference in the world. It comes right out. Let me show you what I did with these. I purchased this aluminum U-channel, cut it the length that I needed for the board. And I got these, not sure what you call them, but you drill a hole in the wood, hammer this into place, and it's got female threads on it, so you can screw the bolts into place, and this holds this into place. So that's one, or the second one. And the third one. Makes a world of difference to be able to use my truck when I want to for camping, and then take the stuff out and use it for other purposes. So putting it back in is just as easy. Watch. It's also a little easier if you can, when you put the pieces back in, make sure that the U-channel in the middle is centered as much as possible for sliding the last piece in. Make sure my channel lines up. It's looking good. Works great. A nice little modular platform. Let me know what you think. Thanks.